always tries to make me sound good as he can. And that's Clayton Young. He's the kind of the lead of the pack. Clayton, again, thank you very much for all you do. And I salute you, guy. And so let's see if we can identify a few more people. We got Kristen Nagy, Brittany Zelich, Paul Cullen, Courtney Franco, Scott Thatcher, Sherry Hayes, Powell Estrada, Bradley Jensen, Susan Moore, Mary Biber, Judy Lloyd, Margaret Grant, Michael Volker, Ann Burnett, Joe Vitello. The stream keeps coming. 27,000 strong started out from Hopkinton this morning, and the lion's share of them are going to finish. We this year, of course, have been blessed with a better day to run. Last year was brutal. The conditions were killing, and yet still, even last year, under those incredible conditions, the percentage of finishes here in Boston was very, very high. And part of the reason for that is runners have to qualify for this marathon. The lion's share of them do it. And that's the only marathon on the world in the Olympic marathon, but that is the case.
Zone 1, the UCC. What was that on Boylston?
8:33, something just exploded at the finish line.
Two separate devices. All units being advised, worry about search devices.
UCC, did I hear that correctly?
Yeah, see it? I'm going to confirm it. Two devices just went off at Boylston and Exeter. All units, extreme caution.
All units be advised, the explosive device. Everyone use caution, please.
We're just off.
We've had an attack.
Tactical. What's that, please? Logistics. We just had an explosive device go off by the Copley Library. Please have all the units hold their positions till called and make an evaluation. Alright, confirm that, please.
Kim, are you okay?
All units hold your positions. All units hold your positions until we got concentration on the injuries. All units hold your positions.
All the officer, all crews in terms of your vehicle at the Alpha station.
Return to your vehicles, please, everybody.
Zone 1, calling tactical.
Zone 1, go.
Prepare to receive patients in the Alpha tent.
Okay. Okay.
Alpha 10 has a message receiving patients.
Alpha team has the message receiving patients.
Copy that.
IT, go.
Units, stay off the air. Units, stay off the air. Just make your way over there. All units, stay off the air and make your way over there. I only want to hear from the 984. I only want to hear from that supervisor.
Delta 984, here's what I need. I want 3 rows clear so I can get the ambulances out.
Exeter and Boylston, heavy trauma, Exeter and Boylston. Do I have any units nearby?
Delta 984, give me a clear.
Okay, 240, okay, Tango on the
Gloucester.
I need another BLS unit to Exeter and Boylston. 30, you said that right. Units will go on at the end. Go. 673 Boylston multiple, 673 multiple cabin.
His leg here.
Division supervisor did not read that. Division 3, I don't know.
She's mobile.
Okay, go.
100 people.
Copy, sir. Copy. Go, sir, go.
We probably have at least, I'd say,
I see, I have it. 40 patients at least. 40 patients at least. We need a triage tent brought over to the... I see key location of the triage tent again.
Go, sir.
Hey, she's mobile.
Delta 984, sir, go.
Help up from the medical tent. Get as many people up here as you can from the medical tent. Delta 984. Walk to the corner of Wing Huntington.
Yes.
In front of the American Bar and Grill on Newbury. Is there an extra
They're
unit?
going, sir, they're going.
In front of the Bar and Grill, American Bar and Grill on Newbury. Okay.
761 Boylston Street, 761 Boylston Street. They're notified, sir, they're going. They're notified.
For the ambulance as well. Time 7:55 Boylston.
755 Boylston, crime scene, we have it.
Any other pains other than your
55, get the bomb squad up top.
Okay, that's from the explosion. Don't worry about that, okay? That was tourniquet. She's bleeding really bad.
Block the road, but there needs ambulance in here.
the police is over near the library.
They'll take her up, okay? Okay? Alright, listen. What does he got going on? Gina, I'm right behind you, okay? Okay? Here, I'm gonna just move back out of the way, alright? Stand right back here.
Come on,
For the emergency person, the ambulances, okay? Don't block the roads for the ambulances.
986, can we get some units up to Mass Ave? Mass and Street. We could block these people so we can keep the access clear.
Delta 984.
984. 984, go ahead.
Available units in the city to this scene now, please.
I know you're busy. Keep Boylston Street open for ambulances. No, block Boylston Street.
Yeah, Tango 901, send them up ring. Send them up ring. I like ring in Huntington.
The midnight double 12, we're at 80 all over the city down here.
005.
With us as well.
Okay, you go right down Boylston to Exeter, is that where you're at?
Tommy, I'm right up from the Lennox Hotel. I'm at the corner of Fairfield and Boylston, okay?
We're hitting Stone right now.
Okay, I have multiple people down here, okay? I don't know what the cause is. Stand by.
Sergeant 47, UCC, I need someone right from the Plume restaurant. I got evidence right here, Ring Road.
The UCC, sir, go again with that, you're sick.
Boylston, Ring Road.
you, sir. I'll advise you. This is the real deal. We're just checking on your ETA to downtown.
I'm dumping. I'm not getting near there. I gotta just dump and run. I'm dumping and running.
Sorry, Stanley, repeat. We can't hear what you're saying.
I'm dumping and running. I can't see the crew. I just gotta get going here. Is that okay? I gotta go.
Yes, go.
Go ahead.
We're on our way there, but we're just informed we got 10 more minutes left on the Red Sox TFR. So we'll hold right outside of it. As soon as that expires, we're going.
Hey, what's your ETA?
More minutes before we can go over that finish line because the Boston Red Sox TFR.
You're right now.
Available agencies.
I'll take whatever you can give us. I'll take whatever you can give us.
Are you okay?
Yes, I'm heading back to net control. Lisa and Sam are on their way back there right now.
That's a negative, Cindy. We're on our way back to Woburn. Is that okay?
Absolutely. I'll see you there.
Okay, all available.
Tango 901, we have an unattended backpack at Boylston and Fairfield. We need to set up a perimeter here, get people away from it.
Set up a perimeter, Boston and Fairfield, guys. Boston and Fairfield, clear everybody out of there. Use caution. There might be possible additional devices. Once again, all officers monitoring. Use caution. There are possible other devices in the area.
Thank you, officer. Ambulance at Hereford and Calm. I have a victim here with shrapnel in the leg.
Hereford and Calm, we'll get them to you, sir. We'll get them to you. Hereford and Calm.
Tango 911, I need all officers that are down here. With secondary devices, any suspicious items. Okay, move people back. Let's go on foot. Victor K Alpha 1.
Victor K Alpha 1, go, sir.
In now, and we've just gotten word. You know, it's Boston Marathon Day, and we've just gotten word of not one but two explosions near the finish line of the Boston Marathon. These are live pictures coming into us.
Hey, Carlos, I'm so sorry. We have some breaking news. Otherwise, I wouldn't cut you off so abruptly. Carlos Warner, thanks for joining us. Let's get now to Boston. Apparently, there's been an explosion at the Boston Marathon. I am told one of our producers, Matt Frucci, is there on the ground talking to us by phone. What can you tell us, Matt?
is reporting that she saw the smoke at the finish line as it happened. Strangely, so far, we're not getting much out of Boston on this. Jonathan Hunt has been reading up and getting some more information while Arthur and I were talking. This is disturbing.
Yeah, Shep, one of the initial reports says that the two explosions came from inside the Fairmount Copley Plaza Hotel. I'm not sure which of those buildings it is there. I'm just looking at Boston.com's live blogging of this here. There is one report of injuries. I have not heard that anywhere else, but some ambulances are said to be on the way down there. I'm not sure if we can make them out in that picture, but clearly this developing very quickly now, Shep.
It is, and we're just getting more now from our sources there in Boston and around. This has just crossed from Associated Press in the last few seconds. Investigating the report of these two explosions, as we said, they heard it from the Fairmount Copley Plaza Hotel. That has just been shut down by race officials because of this report. Race officials have shut it down. It's the sound of two booms, which witnesses said sounded like thunder, right as the race is ongoing at this point. We're waiting to hear something from authorities there. And from the video, this is unedited video that's coming in, or are these live pictures? These are live pictures, it's my understanding. Okay, here's what these are. I just learned this. This is video that a photographer shot that has not been edited, but is feeding back into their facilities, and we got a rough situation here. And this is not a time to jump to any conclusions at all. At the end of a big event like this, you worry about what may happen at these large events. Security, as we all know, has been tightened over the years since the attacks on New York City and beyond, Washington and Shanksville, PA. Anytime you have something big like this, I know the New York City Marathon now has unprecedented security, and the Boston Marathon, deeply aware of these same problems, has gone through the same thing. Is it possible that there was some problem structurally or otherwise, that some accident happened? It certainly is, but I'm sure that authorities are looking into all possibilities at the moment. We don't know anything about injuries. I should be up front with you and let you know we have just gotten this report. While Arthur and I were speaking a couple minutes ago, this first started coming in. We knew it was Boston Marathon Day,
any
and
of
a
these
beautiful day in the
sites that might be familiar to people?
Yeah, I mean, the big one is Copley Plaza Mall, which is where I'm inside right now, which is attached to the Prudential Center, which I believe is the tallest building in Boston.
Okay, and I want to tell you, Matt, we are looking at some live photos here. What appear to be authorities. It's difficult to make out, but it does appear that it is a stretcher, if I'm not mistaken, although we're not for sure about that. We're seeing some authorities walk down the street there in Boston, and we can see a number of police vehicles. Do we have Mike Brooks on the phone?
I'm here live with you, Brianna.
Okay, we have Mike Brooks live with us. Mike, what can you see, especially as you're looking at the pictures here?
Yeah, it does look like fire and EMS are there on the scene. It's hard to see in the small monitor here, trying to get a larger monitor up so I can see exactly what's going on. But it does look like Boston Fire EMS there on the scene. At least one stretcher from what I'm seeing, Brianna. And I'm reaching out to some of my sources right now to try to find out exactly what's going on up there. As I looked, it looks like a number of patients being treated. I'm gonna get up here and walk over and take a look at this a little closer. I see at least 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly 4 patients there being treated at the scene. A large number of fire personnel, EMS, Brianna, there on the scene. But it's hard to tell exactly the extent of injuries that we're looking at right now. But it does look like a number of EMS teams working on multiple patients there at the scene, Brianna.
And Matt, I think you're still with me. At what point in the event did this happen?
This is near the end of the race. I mean, most of the top finishers had already finished about an hour or two ago, but my brother is running, and he still probably had another 45 minutes to go. So there's still a lot of people left on the race. I mean, I think 25,000 plus people run, and maybe half of them and more had already gone through, but the rest were still coming.
Matt, talk to us about this. Sort of take off your producer hat for a moment and put on your brother hat. Your brother was in this race, and I'm sure, and obviously you're right there near where this happened. How much concern do you have having gone there for what is supposed to be a very, almost a joyous occasion in a way, where your brother is doing something so difficult, and instead you're there witnessing this happen?
I believe my brother's fine because he was a good 45 minutes away from the finish line. We're trying to contact my other brother and his kids now because they were somewhere on the other side of the street. We're hoping they're okay, and they should be okay because we think they're another block or two down on the other side. But it's tough to get phone signals out right now. I was lucky enough to get through you. I have 3 other family members dialing my brother and sister-in-law frantically right now to make sure they're okay. And at the very least, tell them to stay away from trash cans because someone muttered that to us once. So I don't want to say that's where the explosions came from, but that's what people here are theorizing.
Okay, Matt, stay with us for just a moment. I do want to turn now to Lou Palumbo. He is the Director of Elite Intelligence and Protection. He's overseen security at a number of major sporting events. Lou, what goes into security at an event like this to try to prevent something like this? And are you surprised that this happened, or is this something that is obviously just ultimately a fear and sort of a vulnerability of something like a marathon?
Well, I think to say it's a vulnerability is conservative. As we all know, you know, we're very porous as a nation. You would always hope that events like this would not take place, but I will tell you it's in the forefront of the minds of law enforcement anytime an event like this is staged. You know, you're hoping the intelligence community has kind of an edge on things to where if there is information floating around regarding a possible threat, they'd be on it. You know, a lot's going to go into this now. You know, at this point, you're going to have the FBI in response, Boston PD, their bomb squad, the ATF, you know, emergency medical. They're going to be pulling cameras in the area. There's a whole process underway right now. But the reality of the situation is it is almost impossible to protect an event, especially one that is over a protracted space as a marathon is. And, you know, I hate to say it, but these are the times that we live in.
So when you say that they're pulling cameras, they will be looking obviously to see. We've heard from Matt. Some people wondered if it wasn't from a trash can in the area. What will they be looking for, Lou?
Well, on the cameras, they're going to try to pick up activity. I mean, depending on how far back.
And let me tell you, just a moment. We are looking at pictures right now of what appears to be that explosion with smoke rising. We actually could see. It did appear that we saw at least one person fall down, although it looked like perhaps their injuries were minor. But we are looking, just to give you a sense of what was described as two huge bangs, two huge explosions that happened there at the Boston Marathon. And witnesses reported seeing the smoke that you just saw there. We're looking at authorities sort of rushing to the scene. These are some of the first pictures that are coming into CNN from our affiliate WBZ. This happened just moments ago near the finish line of the Boston Marathon. And Lou, are you able to see these pictures?
I am watching.
So what are you seeing as you see that explosion and you see the authorities rushing toward the area?
Well, at this point, you know, they're attempting to identify first and foremost what exactly took place. And without going too far out on the limb, I would conservatively say that these were probably planned explosions. At this point, they're handling a crime scene. So on top of the fact that they're trying to render aid to anyone that may have been injured, they're now dealing with this as a crime scene. They're trying to identify exactly what took place, what explosive was used, if an explosive was used, the nature of it, whether accelerants. They're reviewing cameras, as I mentioned to you a few moments ago. There's a whole undertaking at this point, and I will say to you that they will gather a tremendous amount of information probably in the next few hours as to exactly what took place in those garbage pails, if in fact that was the location that the explosion occurred.
And I just want to bring people up to speed on what we are looking at. Two explosions there at the Boston Marathon. This happened near the finish line of the event. It seems at least 6 people were hurt. That is according to one of our CNN producers who was on the ground. And also, if we can go, is that right? We have Adam Eigner on the phone as well.
Heard anything?
Actually, we have Alina Cho with us, who can describe some of what she is seeing there on the scene. Alina, what can you tell us?
Well, obviously, Brianna, these pictures are just terrifying to watch when you see the people, as we did a moment ago, just running away from that large plume of smoke. What we can tell you, as you've been reporting, is that CNN has confirmed there have been a pair of explosions in downtown Boston near the finish line. I went to school in Boston, Brianna. I'm an alum of Boston College, and so I could just tell you that this happened in Copley Square, which is in the center of downtown Boston. This is a day, I might add, the third Monday of April, when this race is run every year on Patriots Day. That is traditionally a very festive day. People take the day off of work. Lots of people out on the streets. And so you can imagine the streets of Boston were jam-packed today. And as Matt Frucci, our producer, pointed out, about half of the runners had finished, but half had not. So this race was in progress. As you've been reporting, our early reports are that a half a dozen people have been injured, but these are very preliminary reports. I have seen some early tweets online from the Boston Globe breaking a witness reports hearing 2 loud booms. Runner's World, the press room is on lockdown. Someone else, an explosion just went off in downtown Boston. So obviously a very terrifying scene. Very early on, we're still trying to gather more information, and we'll bring that to you as soon as we get it. Brianna?
Alina Cho, thank you for that. And let's go now on the phone to Boston, where actually one of our White House producers, Adam Eigner, is there. He is there on the scene and on the phone with us. So, Adam, we understand from Matt Frucci, one of our other colleagues, that there appears to be about a half a dozen people. That's just a rough estimate of folks that he saw injured. Can you tell us any more about what you're seeing? Can you see the scene, and sort of what is the mood there?
Well, currently, Brianna, I'm about 1 mile from the scene. I was about a little over a mile when the explosion reportedly took place. Right now, people aren't in a panic. Right after it happened, to walk past me and said he was headed in the other direction because there were apparently 2 explosions that had taken place and that they were headed in my direction. I would say that people are relatively calm. For the most part, no one seems to know exactly that this has happened yet. As Alina said, this is a very festive day in Boston. As a native, it's a New England holiday, and currently everyone seems to be calm where I am, but we'll see how it gets when we get closer.
And obviously they will, and I know you're sort of making your way. I can hear you sort of huffing and puffing a little bit as you try to head to the scene there. You said it's a New England holiday. This is something that takes place, obviously 26.2 miles in Boston, and it finishes up in sort of a dramatic fashion there in downtown Boston near the Boston Public Library. You've obviously been familiar with this event for many years, Adam. What do you think? News of this is obviously going to spread. This is something
on the live feed. This is listen, please. Just a few minutes ago, we were showing you pictures that I told you were new video in. This is not new video. Well, yes, it is, because live pictures do not cut like that. This is new video that's just come in, and let's just listen. In case you're just joining us, at 21 minutes past 3 o'clock in Boston, there has been at least one, and witnesses report 2 explosions near the finish line of the Boston Marathon, and I have new information for you.
I mean, people have been blown apart. They're dead. I mean, there's where the window is, the windows are all blown out, and there's probably about 3 for sure that are dead, at least.
Well, this is how the beginning of every scene happens. And what we can hope is that somebody, well, my goodness, an unthinkable scene in Boston this afternoon. It is quickly becoming clear that we're in the middle of a disaster in that city. At least one explosion has happened, possibly two. We know that dozens are injured. We have reports, not from authorities or anyone else, of actually seeing victims who did not make it out of this alive. We do not see an enormous amount of structural damage at all. What we see is windows that are blown out and people who are injured who came from behind those glass walls. It's our belief that that's a hotel there. But I'm sure some of the people in the sound of my voice know people in Boston and know people at this marathon and know people who work in those buildings. And would be wrong for us to start guessing about where anything was or who did anything or anything else. For all we know, there's a kitchen in there and a gas line ruptured and it exploded, and we have a horrible outcome. Of course, whenever you have an enormous public event like this, the oldest of its kind in all the nation, on Patriots' Day, there are reasons for concern. And because we don't know whether those reasons are based in any sort of fact at this moment, I'm going to read for you the latest that we have from the scene. And quoting from the Associated Press, 2 explosions shattered the euphoria of the Boston Marathon finish line today, sending authorities out on the course to try to carry off the injured, while the stragglers in the 26.2-mile trek from Hopkinton were rerouted away from the smoking site of the blast. Competitors and race organizers were crying as they fled in chaos. Bloody spectators were being carried to the medical tent that had been set up to care for fatigued runners. Quoting here, "There are a lot of people down," one man said, whose bib number 17528 identified him as a man from North Carolina. He was not injured, but marathon workers were carrying one woman who did not appear to be a runner. She was bleeding. About 3 hours after the winners crossed the line, there was a loud explosion on the north side of Boylston Street, just before the photo bridge that marks the finish line of this marathon. Then another thunderous explosion could be heard a few seconds later. Runner Laura McLean of Toronto said that she heard 2 explosions outside the medical tent. Quoting, "There are people who are really, really bloody," McLean said. They were pulling them into the medical tent. Quote, "I was expecting my husband any minute," she said. "I don't know what this building is. It just blew. A big bomb, a loud boom, and then glass everywhere. Something hit my head. I don't know what it was. I ducked." That's what we have, and these are the pictures as they are coming into us from My Fox 25 in Boston. Our local anchors and reporters are on scene. Let's listen in.
He knows what he's doing. He was the head of Boston EMS, and then he went to go work under the Obama administration. And he said, you know, "I wouldn't miss this for the world." He was here. He loves the Boston Marathon, and you know that he's sort of helping with a triage. And you know that he's on the scene, and he's making sure that people are getting the help they need.
Absolutely.
You know, my heart just breaks for anybody who's hurt or if this has happened to them. It's just devastating. Just devastating. So again, Mike, let me just repeat what I know at about, I don't even know what time it was, but for the runners, the last group of runners that went off at 10:40, this was the 4-hour mark, and that's when they had just crossed the finish line, right at 4 hours, and that's when you heard an explosion, and then you heard an explosion following that as well. And there was a big plume of smoke. I didn't see any residual or any smoke I'm sorry. I didn't see any of that with the second explosion, but with the first one, it was definitely significant, and it was on the side of a building. You know, guys, daughter Isabella, is that where the Jumbotron was?
The woman whom you're hearing speak now is a reporter for our station in Boston who was there when this happened. Let's listen.
That just for context, and wondering if maybe that's where it was. But right where the Jumbotron was, where all the few people who were there, they could look up at it. That's where the explosion was, on the side of that building.
Wow, so that's right there on that left side. Again, Maria pointing out that you have the Boston Public Library on the right side. The explosions, according to Maria, appeared to have happened on the left-hand side there.
Going down Boylston into like towards the Commons.
Traveling the way the runners were traveling. It was on their left.
Exactly.
And it was crowded. I mean, tell us how crowded it was. You were there cheering on your husband.
It was packed. I mean, they were coming through, you know, it was packed, Mike. I tell you, there were a lot of people coming through the finish line at that moment. So, you know, and all the people are there, you know, they're 10 deep on the sidelines waiting for their loved one to come in. So you have all of those people who were right there. Now, again, it looked like the explosion happened halfway up the building, so it doesn't look like it happened on the ground floor. This is all I can tell you about my recollection by turning around. And, you know that's a building. You know stuff is falling from the building. I don't know, you know, who it hit or how it hit.
Methodically, tell us where you were and what you saw.
Sure. I was on Boylston Avenue, which is sort of the final stretch of the Boston Marathon, maybe the final mile or two. I was packed with thousands of spectators on either side. It was packed with thousands of runners making their final sprint to the finish. And about 100 yards up from me, closer to the finish line, I heard an explosion, turned and saw a big plume of smoke rising out of what looked like a sidewalk or a parking lot. I'm not entirely sure. It wasn't on the street. It was off the street. That much I could tell. Everyone sort of paused, wondered what the heck that was.
Could you tell if it looked like it was, I mean, it's hard to discern, obviously, if it looked like an explosion coming from some sort of city infrastructure, a gas line or a generator or something along those lines, or did it look like something obviously much more serious, much more sinister, some sort of foul play?
My first instinct was maybe it was some sort of a steam pipeline or something, and it was like manholes exploding, because it looked like it was coming from the sidewalk itself as opposed to anything on top of it. But again, I didn't have a great look at it. That's just my first gut instinct on what it was. I did hear some people say, watch out for the trash cans. They heard it was the trash cans. But again, that's just maybe sort of mob mentality, just trying to figure out what the heck it is. So I'm not sure. I didn't see fire. I only saw smoke. And even on the explosion that was right across the street from me, I never saw anything that looked like fire of an explosion. It looked like more smoke just exploding up.
911 recorded line. Which
Hello, how are you,
location
sir?
of your emergency?
Yeah, I am in mobile gas station, 816 Memorial Drive. I have one 816 Memorial Drive.
Correct. Is there any apartment number, sir?
No, 816.
I understand. 816 Memorial Drive. Is there a floor
gas
or an
station,
apartment?
mobile gas station.
The mobile gas station.
Yeah. I have one came inside now, and he told me one want to shoot him, and he stay inside and he want to leave.
So this is at Memorial Drive in River Street, correct?
Yeah. Okay, sir.
Is the gentleman there?
Yeah. He's inside. He don't want to leave the gas station.
I know. Can I speak with him?
Yeah. Give me 1 second. Hello, sir. Please help me.
Hello, sir.
Please help me. Please help me.
Sir.
Someone took to my car.
They took
and they want to shoot to my car. Then Sir, hello?
Sir, listen to me. I'm going to ask you a couple questions.
Sure.
All right, just take a deep breath. Okay.
Okay.
Tell me what happened. Somebody took your car?
Yeah.
And what happened when they took their car?
They say that they are they did the explosion, marathon explosion. They are Muslims.
They what?
They are the suspect of the marathon explosion.
Sir, what did he say when he took your car?
Please help me, please. They have guns.
Where are they?
They are in the Shell gas station in Memorial Drive.
They were in front of the gas station?
Yeah, I just got it wrong.
What, are they there now?
Yeah, please come.
And they're at the gas station?
Yes, they took my car. I don't know if they leave or not.
Did they take the car or are they still there?
They take the car. I don't know. I can't watch. I'm not there to watch.
Okay, but do they leave?
I don't know.
So,
come help me, please.
Sir, they're on their way, but they came up to you, they asked you to get out of the car, and they took your car. They had a gun.
No, they took my car like a half an hour ago, and they drive me around to find the gas station. Finally, they find one at the Memorial Drive.
And they drove you around?
They drove me around. Yeah, I just got it wrong. When they put the gas, when they're trying to put the gas, I just wrong.
All right.
Can you please come?
Sir, they're already on their way. You just take a deep breath and stay where you are.
Okay.
I'm going to stay on the phone with you.
Okay.
Okay, what's your name?
My first name is D-U-N.
D-U-N?
Yeah.
Okay. So, now, do you remember what these guys look like?
They're from East Asia. From Middle Asia.
They're from Middle Asia?
Middle Asia. They come from Arabia.
All right. Well,
they're Muslims. They look like from Iran or Iraq somewhere.
Okay, take one guy and give him a description to me.
One guy, they're pretty skinny, and they come from, I think they come from Iran or maybe Iraq somewhere.
Middle Eastern man?
Middle East, yeah.
Okay. And how tall was he?
It's about 5'7".
5'7"?
Yeah.
What was he wearing?
Yeah,
what was he wearing? What kind of clothes? What kind of jacket? Oh, sure.
I don't remember. Please. It's quickly. Please quick. They have guns. They want to shoot at me.
To the units of Mercedes tracking, showing that car in Watertown. We'll hit them up on paper on 81 Dexter Ave, Watertown.
next to car 19. 19. I'm familiar with that area. You want me to start heading that way? What do you have, Matty? I don't even know. I'm tied up here, and I need Detective Corvette over here. What do you have, Matt? They're pinging that black Mercedes to Watertown where I used to work. They're saying that the LoJack is coming back to the 81 Dexter Ave. Okay, yeah, start heading over there, and I'll let them know. Car 5 to that unit. We're in the square if you want to jump in. I'm already mobile with the 3R. F4. 5, you headed over to Watertown as well? Control, you have notified Watertown, haven't you? Affirmative. All right. And Car 5, you're headed to Watertown, correct? Sir. Car 19 to Detective Clavette, or any detective. Delta 11 is starting outside of Sound. Car 19 to control. Answering. Right. I'm leaving the Shell station. I received a straight call. No, sir. I left one detective at Mobile and one detective at Shell. I'm heading over to Watertown. Get me a fix on that Dexter F. Stand by. 16X to control. Stand by. Being told now Watertown has that motor vehicle in sight. Put a stop on it now. Go ahead. Have it 16. Clear the air. 19. Make sure you tell Watertown that they have guns. All right? They've been aware. Shots fired. Shots fired in Watertown. To control. Answer. I'm heading out to Watertown. Copy that. Get us a location. They're not on Dexter. Stand by. Alright, to the units of Mutual, Dexter and Mount Auburn. Dexter and Mount Auburn. Alright, to the units, Dexter and Lowell. Dexter and Lowell. Being told they have it pinned down. Dexter and Lowell, Watertown. Correction, Dexter and Laurel. Dexter and Laurel, Watertown. Control, Dexter's off of Mount Auburn. Affirmative, sorry, east of Watertown, that's affirmative, off of Mount Auburn, runs to, School Street. Alright, to the units, I'm being told one subject, Dexter and Laurel, is attempting to get back in the vehicle and take off. Again, one subject, more shots fired. Told any other Cambridge unit responding to Watertown, you can let us know. Delta 9. Car 3 in the first half is 555 and 532. Alright, to the units, clear the air. Being told explosions are being thrown in Watertown. They're throwing explosions of some sort.
13, I'm in Watertown also.
Copy 13 now. Location, Watertown on those streets. You head up Mount Auburn, you'll see the 7-Eleven on the right, and you'll be taking a left shortly thereafter. Action, 3 hour off. Receive, 42 minutes.
He's going this way. Who's got a rifle?
Car 24 to car 29. Answering. Joe, can you hear over in Watertown?
559 to control. Get the firearms down here. Shots fired in Watertown. Receive, shots fired, firearms needed in Watertown.
State police, what the fuck?
White net, cars on everywhere, no one knows where it is. It's a white nail with white t-shirt running through back here. Oh. Vic, give me a number on Mount Auburn. Hello, Mount Auburn.
Cops come down the street.
Any units have a been effects on that motor vehicle? 3 under control. They're on foot. They're out of the motor vehicle on foot, firing the weapon. On foot, firing weapon.
Hey, what the fuck? Stop! Look out! Go the other way!
Control.
Go the other way!
Where I'm on Auburn, there's units everywhere. Where I'm on Auburn? And Dexter Street. Hazel and Dexter Street in Watertown. I got Dexter Ave. Is that what you want? Dexter Ave or Dexter Street? Dexter Ave, Dexter Ave. Alright, it's right across from Bedrosian. It's 555 Mount Auburn Street. 555 Mount Auburn Street.
Gunfire still.
Be advised, we have multiple shots fired. Multiple shots fired.
Look at that. That's a serious fucking weapon he has there. Oh my God.
Car 24 to the ship commander.
Answered.
Activate 216, car 216. Send them up there.
That might save my life. Huh? That might save my life, keeping the door open.
Right.
There you go. So there's a guy in the corner there. There's no bullshit.
Control the units. Any available unit, Broadway and Windsor, can report of a booming noise coming from outside. One call. Control, Adam Street, Adam Street, Adam Street, Watertown.
Down the street.
Adam Street, Watertown, we have it. We've got explosives being detonated. Explosives. Shots fired, Adam Street, Watertown. Black pickup.
Shooting right in front of my house.
Copy, black pickup, Adam Street, Watertown, explosives being detonated. Adam Street, black pickup down left. Control has it.
Tell you, with those bombs going off like that, could very well be, right?
Screaming, shit, show me your hands, show me your hands.
Squad, you're the filing. Copy, Adam Street, all units are Adam Street.
Stolen
SUV. They stole a state police SUV. Jeez, are you fucking kidding me? Yep. Stole a state police SUV.
Okay, they're in a black pickup.
Squad 2 to fire. Fire one's answering squad 2.
They gotta have GPS in that vehicle. They gotta know exactly where it is.
Yeah, police activating SRT for Watertown.
Damn.
Negative, stand by.
Yeah, we're listening. We thought they were activating. We're heading in that direction. We have a tactical medic on squad 2. There's one on squad 4 if needed.
Okay, stand by, sir.
You know, I heard those, man. I thought they
Go in with the... What unit is that?
No, I hear it all the time. I can tell you it sounded different, though. Didn't
Drop in. Any unit going in with 17?
I didn't hear anything until you were coming down the stairs.
Yeah.
Officer Pascal Martin, O'Hearn. Copy.
15X, I'm going up Broadway, Windsor.
Broadway, Windsor. Under control. Answer, Nora 9.
Be advised, tons of shots being fired. Stolen SUV from the state police.
Copy. Stolen SUV from state police.
That vehicle went down Adams Street from Mount Auburn. Down Adams from Mount Auburn.
Down Adams from Mount Auburn.
I'm talking to a gentleman at Broadway and Windsor. He didn't hear anything out here.
Copy that.
Control, witness Memorial Drive and River Street. State shots fired and pointed down Central Square.
Copy, shots fired down towards Central Square.
There's a stolen state police SUV. The state police is everywhere. We're just trying to get clear information.
Copy.
Hey, traffic 15, I'm off Broadway and Windsor.
Copy, traffic 15.
Water control.
Answering.
That was 465 Windsor, correct?
Affirmative.
We're off in the air.
Got 19 to 29 or 24.
The third one, I'm on Auburn Street now.
Receive.
Rescue on the fire alarm?
Fire alarm's in from the rescue.
We've located towards the Watertown end of Cambridge, and we're staging if we're needed.
Receive, stand by. Also, the Windsor and Broadway for the lock booms. 19 to control. Answer.
Let Watertown know that Brookline, myself, I don't know what other cities, we're on Dartmouth Street, is moving in the driveway. Is it confirmed that the two people are in that car?
Copy, we're looking for confirmation. Just look for that they're in the car. What's your location again, 19 with Brookline?
Dartmouth Street and Watertown. I've got several units here with long rifles.
Dartmouth Street, Watertown, we have it.
Yeah, if anybody can confirm it, that car that took off, do they have both SPs or do we have a SP out here on the foot? Sergeant, stand by. They're setting up a perimeter. Okay, we're off on Cypress Street with many units. The car's is behind the building.
Pick that location? 361, repeat the location of the motor vehicle.
Cypress Street. We're setting up a perimeter.
Copy, Cypress Street, setting up the perimeter. Okay, told officers pinned down, Spruce and Lincoln, officers pinned down. Fled the vehicle into the backyard. Spruce and Lincoln, officer was pinned down, they fled the vehicle into the backyard.
Copy, Spruce and Lincoln. Is that Cambridge or Watertown control?
Well, be told Watertown, and also be advised, be told there's sticks of dynamite.
Yeah, no, we're aware. They were going explosives earlier.
Copy.
There's massive amounts of state and transit police, but they don't know where the locations are.
Continue down Mount Auburn Street, past Dexter Street, past 7-Eleven. Just keep going as if you're heading towards Watertown Square, and Lincoln Street will be up on the left before you get to the School Street intersection, and Spruce is off of Lincoln.
Thank you. 17 officer hurt.
Answering.
Yeah, Brandon, why don't you head over there?
Myself, Pasco, and Martins are en route.
Hey, go over. Control.
Answer 17.
All right, I checked out Central Square. I talked to all the cab drivers there. Nobody heard anything, and I talked to several pedestrians, too.
Copy, we'll close up the, Single one's on the way, single one's on the way. One calling squad 2.
Squad 2.
Squad 2, stop for 144 Dexter Ave, Watertown, officer down.
Yes. Receive, we're on the way. Can you notify Squad 4 to respond as well?
Receive. Fire on calling squad 4.
Squad 4 answer, fire on.
Respond with squad 2 to 144 Dexter Ave, Watertown.
Squad 4 is responding. Dexter Ave, Watertown.
Another unit leaving the city heading over there. Knows where to go.
Copy.
Yeah, 19 to control.
Answering.
Let us know what's going on. We're all here at, we have a bunch of officers here on Dartmouth Street.
Copy that.
Victor 3 on 1.
Answer, Victor 3.
Control, I don't know if you have it. One down on Laurel Street in custody, EMS on scene, still looking for another one in the yards.
Receive one down on Laurel Street in custody, still looking for the second. Copy that, 19.
Yeah, give me official where Laurel Street is to Dartmouth.
Dodge, come up Dexter from Mount Auburn, and we're a few blocks up. It's on your left.
I have an SRT team here on Dartmouth Street. We're trying to figure out where you are.
Get down there with the gun! Long gun!
What's your location? 531 location.
We get him down, Dexter, Mount Auburn.
Copy. SP down, Dexter, Mount Auburn. On the squad 2. Squad 2. Just an update for you in squad 4. There'll be 2 victims at that location. 1 SP, 1 officer.
We're off in Watertown now with the police.
On location. Squad 4 receives the message. Squad 4 has the update. Custody. According to I believe 531 just over the air, they have 1 down at Dexter, Mount Auburn.
All right, because we're on Spruce and we're looking at somebody on Spruce, so we need to know that.
531, can you confirm both SPs in custody or down?
Negative.
Copy.
Control, give me a fix on Spruce Street from Dartmouth Street, please.
Spruce and Dartmouth do not intersect. Come down School Street. Spruce runs off of school. School runs parallel to Dexter. Hold the Victor 3.
Cod 2, we have him on the ground.
Received. And do we have confirmation that there's a second party? We're going to confirm there's a second party in custody on Laurel Street with the MS.
Control, we're still waiting on that, okay?
Copy that.
Be advised, we have him on the ground, proned out, waiting for a robot.
Copy.
Is there still something on Spruce? Control, we have units off on Spruce. We have a perimeter. Do we believe there's a suspect on Spruce? If you have 2 there, we need to know.
I can only get confirmation of the one at Dexter, Mount Auburn at this time.
Bro, we have 1 on the ground on Upland Street at Mount Auburn.
1 on the ground, Upland and Mount Auburn.
It's going to be a white male, brown pants with stripes and a blue shirt.
Copy. Control, Officer 521 Mount Auburn. 521 Mount Auburn. Officer 521 Mount Auburn. All right, we're on the phone with Watertown. They're confirming only 1. That one, I guess, at Upland and Mount Auburn.
The one at Upland and Mount Auburn. There's a second one at 526 Mount Auburn as well. There's 2.
Copy, 2. 526 Mount Auburn and Upland and Mount Auburn. 526 Mount Auburn, Upland and Mount Auburn, 2 in custody.
19, are you giving me a confirmation that both have been apprehended?
I'm looking at the 2 of them right now. I'm looking 526 Mount Auburn, and then there's another one at Upland right now.
Correct, and they're definitely the suspects?
I have no idea who this second person is. Just thrown out in front of 526 Mount Auburn.
Control to all Cambridge units in Watertown, power down cell phones immediately. All Cambridge units in Watertown, immediately power down your cell phones.
We have no confirmation on this second party in front of 526 Mount Auburn. Unsure of the relation.
Control, the suspect vehicle is on Spruce. The suspect vehicle is on Spruce.
SP motor vehicle on Spruce.
To Officer Matt Brown. Matt, do we have 1 or 2 in custody, do you know?
I don't know. I've got
I've gotten word that there's one at Mount Auburn and Upland in custody. I've got word that there's another one at Dexter and Laurel thrown out waiting for you. The second party is not 100% though. Over there.
The North 9s are all Cambridge elements. There is 2 suspects in custody. One on Mount Auburn, one down at Dexter and Spruce. I say again, there's 2 suspects in custody.
Control has him.
Control, just be advised, Oz not in custody. He's on the ground at gunpoint. He is not in custody yet.
Where is EOD needed? I've got them with me right now.
Auburn and Upland.
EOD is needed at Mount Auburn and Upland, is that correct?
Affirmative.
Control has him.
19 to control.
Answer. Control's answer.
Okay, we're getting conflicting reports from different departments. Confirm with Watertown what we have and get back to me.
16 next to 19.
Go ahead, Matt.
Be advised, I got Boston. We're coming to Matt T. I'm sorry, Matt EOD, we're coming to you, Mount Auburn and up.
Okay, I'm not at Mount Auburn. I'm on Dartmouth Street with about 12 officers here.
Okay, we're coming to you.
You don't have to come to me. I don't have a suspect anywhere near me. So we're trying to confirm whether it is
Mount Auburn and Upland.
.600 in control. Now we're off on Spruce Street. There's a large number of officers here as well. I'm not sure what we got going here right yet.
Put the SP motor vehicles on Spruce Street.
Spruce Street's where a large number of the explosives were going off. They're checking for further explosives.
Control them.
Canines. Holy